This is Sound Off 60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports talk television show. Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Here are the boys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
Welcome back to Jack Daniels at LaBerge. The magic number, not when it comes to casino gaming, by the way. The magic number this week is 4. What does that mean to you, Mr. Guidry? 4.
What could that possibly mean?
What could that possibly be? 4/purple and gold. They got to win,
they got to win 4 games
They're
now,
in the
Rick.
losers bracket. We're talking about the LSU Tigers.
Yeah, Rick, and I watched some of the game.
Series.
And you know what? Scooter said it when he was here.
He said something smart?
UCLA, he said.
Did he say something smart?
He said he said that they're not going to be a team that's going to try and beat you by knocking out the park.
No, they're not.
They're going to play small ball. And that's what they did,
defense,
Rick.
huh?
That's what they did,
Yes,
man. They put people on base, and they wait for you to make a mistake.
And how many did LSU make? 2. 2 costly errors, 2 unearned runs. So now it's the losers bracket.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's a hill to climb.
It is.
But that doesn't. It's not
not
an
at all.
insurmountable hill. They got to go against top seed North Carolina tomorrow, which would be Tuesday if you're watching later in the week. And of course, you already know what happened by then. But we're doing our live broadcast on tape on Monday. So Tuesday afternoon, 2 o'clock. It's LSU against top seeded North Carolina.
I think they'll do well.
And they got wiped out like 8-0, 8-1 against North Carolina State. An up-and-comer in college baseball kind of came out of nowhere. So there you have it. They lose to UCLA 2-1.
Yeah.
Now our boy
2-1. That was a
close game. We'll get into some of the specifics. Our boy in the middle is doing some great coverage in Omaha. That would be Scooter Hobbs from the Lake Charles American Press.
That's why he's not here.
That's why he's not here. And that means we can rag on him
all the time. But you know he's going to watch it when he gets back, though. So
2 sheets in the wind, baby. I'm going to rag on him and rag on him.
He's doing a great job up there, though.
Get ready for an hour.
He is.
I'm serious.
Okay, I'm with you. I mean, hey,
it's
look,
fair game, baby.
If it's valid, Rick, I'm here with you, and I know he's watching.
What are you saying? I'm never valid? You're saying I'm not valid when I rag on him? We're going to have a lot of fun. Even though Hobbs is not here, he's doing some good stuff in Omaha. Check out the American Press all week, and of course they'll have coverage of the LSU Tigers at the College World Series.
He does a great job.
So Katz gets the solo home run.
Yeah.
It was a pitcher's duel.
It was.
Into the mid innings and the late innings of this thing. Aaron Nola.
Let me just say,
he's just.
I didn't know he was really that good. I mean, I've seen good pitchers, Rick, but I didn't know that. I mean,
fluid.
What
strong?
And you're so right. What surprises me about him, Rick, is that some pitchers, sometimes when they get the count against them, when I say they up more balls than they are strikes, you'll try to throw something in there to change it up. But Rick, I think he had a couple full counts, Rick, and
he challenged him.
Yeah,
just challenged him.
Yeah,
man on man, baby.
and I'm saying, man, that's impressive. Man,
he is a good pitcher, and
that's impressive.
LSU lost. All right, give credit where credit is due. All right, Bergman boots the ball, goes into left center. They score a run. A throwing error earlier, put a man in scoring position. What you mentioned it, small ball.
Exactly.
Sacrifice fly, they bring in a runner.
And that's what they
did. Give UCLA credit, man.
No, you have to, because
hung tough, and their pitcher was throwing that high fastball, and LSU was chasing it.
They were, Rick. But let me tell you something else, Rick. When you look at UCLA, this is what they do well that I remember seeing them play, is that they're not going to make you get out of what they do. Mm-hmm. They're going to stick to what they do best, and that's make you play ball, and eventually you're going to make mistakes, and we're going to capitalize on it. And that's what they did, Rick.
The pressure on.
And the thing about it, Rick, you know what? They have some great players there on that side of the ball, too. I have to give it to them. But when you look at them, Rick, you say to yourself, wasn't LSU the better team, though?
Well,
wasn't they the better team, though?
Look at the averages.
And
look at the averages per man. I mean, LSU out-averaged them.
That's
with batting averages. 7 out of the 9, maybe 8 out of 9.
And Rick, that's what I kept looking at. I kept saying, wait a minute. LSU on paper should be beating these guys.
Well, on paper.
But you got to play the game.
Baseball, it never,
no,
on paper, it never flows when it comes to baseball. But, they do have the #1 closer in the country.
They do.
That sidearm kid, I don't see how he keeps his shoulder.
I don't know. He keeps it ice.
I don't think he keeps it in the socket. The way that guy throws.
He keeps it ice every time he comes off the field.
But the starter was solid. 8-3 on the year, something like that. I mean, he's solid. These guys are solid.
I was just impressed how they kept their
Composure?
Yeah, Rick. Yeah. And normally teams at LSU have played, they've made you pretty much crack under pressure. Yeah. But these guys are like, no, you're not going to rattle.
Well, look, their record, and ESPN did a great job. I mean, they were like, this year now, I think it was this year.
Yeah.
25-0.
That's strong, Rick.
In one-run game.
That's strong.
When it's close, these guys hardly ever didn't lose, if I remember 25. The stat right.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
So that they had in their favor.
Yeah.
They had been and have been to the College World Series
before a number of times.
3 of the last 4 years.
Of times.
So they've been there in the last
and not that
years,
LSU,
so they're not intimidated by this.
Not that LSU doesn't have that era of being there and know what it feels like. Yeah, granted, you have a lot of new players, a lot of new coaches that are there now versus the years back when Skip Bertman was there. But when you look at UCLA, the only thing that scares me, Rick, is that when you've got a team that's got that much experience on being there so recent, it's kind of like, can you make these guys make mistakes? Because they've been there. I mean, it's like, you're not going to rattle me. And that's what you could see in how they played LSU, Rick. Rick, they just sat back and said, hey, come on, bring it to me.
Well,
and that's what impressed me about them.
Look, LSU didn't have a great offensive game. They obviously didn't have a great defensive game. They had 2 errors. You got to go out. A caliber of an LSU, you go out and play your game.
Yeah.
You put your best guy on the mound. Whoever game 2 pitcher will be. As of now, I'm not sure who it's going to be. It's either Rhymes or Cody Glenn. Who knows? Yeah. But you go out and you play your game. I don't know if you can wait for another guy to make a mistake. And it's going to happen. But then again, if it doesn't happen, like
you're right.
Canary said, if it doesn't happen, Bruins may not have scored, and LSU wins 1-0, 2-0.
You're right.
A close game.
You're right.
But they did make the errors, and they got the.
And those are going to happen, Rick. Really. But still, you have to give credit to UCLA, and I mean, that's my Tigers, but they waited and they capitalized on it. To be honest with you, Rick.
Late in the game, you had to be just like me. I mean, LSU gets a man in scoring position in the 8th and the 9th. A great game, some great baseball, and I'm sitting there, I'm just saying, hit it to the gap.
Yeah.
Hit it to the gap. Just get it in the gap.
Yeah.
And they tie or win the game. And they couldn't
couldn't
get the bat on the ball with enough velocity to get it in the gap. And Orel Hershiser, actually, I'm sitting here, get it to the gap. Hershiser, the commentator, the analyst, was saying, just get it to the outfield.
Yeah. You're right, and that's a run.
Shallow pop-up, and they score 1.
And that's a run, Rick.
But they couldn't
even
do that.
They
couldn't even do that. That's just crazy. All right.
That is frustrating.
It's North Carolina, and it's funny with this thing. All the lower seeds knock out the higher seeds.
Yeah.
So when it comes to college baseball in the World Series, it's great to be, it's good to be made. Of course, Hobbs is spouting off that the number 1 hadn't won it in 15 years.
Yeah.
Now they got to go against number 1 North Carolina, so maybe that falls in the favor of LSU.
But they have a loss
that's
too.
Ironic.
That is crazy.
That's
when
ironic.
you look at it,
all the lower seeds win round 1.
Yeah. Hope that's not something. I hope it changes though, Rick. But
I don't know. If anybody can get out of the losers bracket, especially the way Maneri plays from 1 all the way down to 24.
I've been impressed with him from the entire year. Rick.
This is a team that can rebound.
Yeah,
I mean, they got the pitching. They really do have the defense. And I think they have the bats.
I think they have, Rick.
I think they have the bats, even though the bats have been tapered and softened, if you will. I think they get some luck, and they can beat North Carolina.
The point that you made, I think 3 of LSU hits that were out in the outfield, they said in any other ballpark,
warning track,
it's out.
Yeah,
it's out, Rick.
Warning track. All right. So it's Tuesday afternoon. If you're watching it on our show on a Monday night, it's North Carolina elimination game. They lose. They're coming back to Baton Rouge, and you're going to have a terrible week.
I am, Rick.
You're going to have a terrible week. You're going to be pulling,
not just yet.
You're going to be pulling something else.
No,
in that
not just yet, Rick.
All right. When we come back to Jack Daniels at LeBears, we'll talk about the McNeese baseball coaching vacancy. It's down to 2. My sources say it's down to 2. We've got a name to throw out there. They're going to be interviewing, and they could very well have a decision and make an announcement later in the week out of McNeese State.
That was pretty quick,
We'll talk about that and more when
we will.
Sound Off 60 comes right back here to JD. Stay right there.
Sound Off 60 is brought to you by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LeBears Casino Resort.
So what is this fantabulous, fabulous?
It's funtabulous.
Never heard of it. Is that a word?
Yep.
And you made this up?
Well,
you can't make up words.
I didn't. Customers did.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's a combination of fun, fantastic, and fabulous. It's what our customers tell us they feel like when they leave Tarver Ford.
So your customers love you so much They make up cool words about you?
Yep.
Come on, man.
I'm telling you.
Legendary parties don't wait for the weekend. So Thursday nights at L'Auberge Casino Resort's Liquid Society Pool Concert Series is the place to be. It's a summer of epic headliners, including Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Robert Randolph and the Family Band, X Factor winner Tate Stevens, DJ Pauly D, Eli Young Band, Summerland Tour 2013, featuring Everclear, Live, Filter and Sponge, 311 and more. Tickets start at only $10 and can be purchased at Ticketmaster.com, Legends, or the L'Auberge Business Center. For a complete concert lineup, visit mylauberge.com.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Hey, can we get a round of Miller Lite?
Sorry, just ran out. Something else?
Come on, really?
But what if one of your crew is Chuck Liddell?
Hello? Hey.
We don't have a reservation.
Right this way.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Sure wish we could play.
Here you go. There.
Thank you. Thanks. We'd like to use flash photography.
That's not a problem.
We'd like to ride a dolphin. We'd love to stay closer.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Big Easy got the flavor, so easy to share. Always a crowd pleaser, easy to prepare. Big Easy, you always taste so good. You got Louisiana flavor, wrapped up so tight. Pick up some Big Easy foods tonight.
Introducing Big Easy Foods in stores now.
Are you ready for some country? We got it coming at you both ways.
Yes.
Friday nights at Jack Daniels, they go country here on the big stage, and also this Thursday at the pool party, Liquid Society.
Yes.
Tate Stevens, fame from the X Factor. He's a rising country star. He's going to be on the stage Thursday night at the pool party.
Everybody loved him.
A TV show called The X Factor. I'm getting educated on it. It's kind of like an American Idol knockoff, if you will. Simon Cowell, the kind of snippety guy from England. Remember him from the American Idol?
He actually created that show.
Pardon?
He actually created that show. And
what more can you tell me about the show, sir?
Let me tell you something. They're a little bit more abrasive than what we are here in America. They'll just come out and tell you, you suck. Yeah. Well, so that's...
Well, no.
But no, that's the difference, Rick, honestly.
I can be abrasive. When you say something really stupid,
wait a minute,
I'll say, man, what are you?
I can never be that way. I've always been raised to be polite and to be just...
You're like Goofy. You're on a Disney World ride sometimes when you come out and say something weird.
All right, then. I can take that ride sometimes.
I'm sure you can. All right, that's Thursday night at the pool party. Tate Stevens.
Yes. Come out. It's going to be a great show.
And, of course, country every Friday night here at Jack Daniels. So it's always fun. A lot of good music, a lot of good food.
Pool party's been really successful this past year, Rick.
Yeah, Robert Randolph and the Family Band was last Thursday. Had some blues, guitar, that kind of thing. So you're going to get a mix.
It is.
You're going to get a mix. We'll let you know what's going on with pool parties later on as the weeks go on. All right, McNeese baseball. As you know, Terry Burrows resigned his position right after the Southland Conference baseball tournament.
Right.
Decided that he had enough. And since then, I mean, the number was never pinned down, but they got well over 60 applicants for the job. That's a lot of applicants.
That is.
For McNeese baseball.
But let me tell you something that I think, Rick, we never had a chance to even discuss on the show, even after Terry announced his resignation, was for the fact that, around town, McNeese a local school, man. Everybody knows everybody. And you hear all sorts of things. Out of all the people that I've talked to, Rick, that commented on Terry's departure, you know what they said? I thought he was doing okay. That's what they said, Rick. Well, I thought he was doing okay, Kevin. And I don't keep up much with McNeese baseball, Rick. But I mean, it's a local, and I know a little bit about it. But everybody, out of the 8 people I talked to, 5 of them said to me, Rick, I thought he was doing a good job.
Okay. Well, no, Terry was doing a good job in certain respects. But if he was sitting here once again, he would say, and as he, look, the bottom line, it's a numbers game. And his numbers didn't add up. He knew that.
It is, Rick.
And he had one, in 6 years at the helm, he had 1 year over 500.
Right.
And in the last 3, it was all sub 500 winning records.
But let me say...
That doesn't bode well.
Right. And let me say, not in Terry's defense, but let me just say this. Do you think because of the success that they've had in the past before Terry got here, may not have pushed him to the edge on people vocally saying, he's got to go. It's just been bad. And I think that may have been a little bit of what may have taken place, Rick, because people knew before, it wasn't like we was knocking it out the park.
No.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking about the lack of success.
Exactly.
The McNeese Cowboys baseball program have not been able to have consistency. They would have a good year, and then a not-so-good year. Exactly. And then maybe a pretty good year, and then a mediocre year. It's been a roller coaster ride.
It has for a number of years.
Ever since.
It's been a while, Rick, honestly.
I mean, maybe going back to Mike Bianco.
Yeah.
Mike Bianco came in from LSU. Had one or two maybe very strong years, and what happens?
Yeah.
He had the heritage of LSU and Skip Bertman. Where does he go? Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And he's been at Ole Miss for 13 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty good success.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the baseball program has been up and down.
It has.
So you know, look, the wins and losses didn't add up in Terry's favor.
No,
and
they didn't.
He wanted to move on. It was time for Terry personally to move on.
And you know, as a player and as a coach, when you're at that point to say, hey, okay.
You look yourself in the mirror and say, maybe it's time. And maybe it's time.
And you know what? You have to respect him for that. I mean, in doing that. But, you know, the question comes into play now, Rick, is that, you know, finding somebody for this job where you look at a coach that's going to try and create something different than what the McNeese Cowboys baseball team has been doing, or you're looking for someone to come in and just maybe set a standard to say, let's just try and continue to win if we can. Yeah, because look at that, when you see coaches being hired, Rick, there's a purpose as to why every coach is hired. You know that. When you bring in a staff that look at a coach and interview coaches, there's one coach they're looking at that he's going to bring something to the table that maybe another coach didn't.
Of course.
To where we're going to hire him on. Right. It has nothing sometimes to do with the record that they've had at other places or other schools. Mm-hmm. It's going to be one thing they're going to look at, and I'm just wondering what that one thing you think.
Well, we're going to find out. Again, the applicant pool was up well over 60.
And that's a lot. That's a lot.
And the information, my sources tell me that they had it down to 3. Mm-hmm. The search committee at McNeese called it down to the top 3.
Yeah.
Was able to confirm that 1 has dropped out. So now we're down to 2. And I don't know who that is. Had not been able to confirm who that would be that took his name out of the running. One name that is in the running is Alabama assistant coach Bobby Barbier. He's a Northwestern grad.
Right.
He played at Northwestern State, so he has a sense of the Southland Conference.
Right.
He has a sense of Louisiana, and he's been at Alabama as an assistant coach in the SEC for the last maybe 3 or 4 years. So his name is still in there, and he has to be considered obviously one of the top candidates. He's one of 2 remaining.
Yeah.
The other candidate, I don't know who it is. Haven't been able to confirm that because of personnel issues, and they hold other jobs, that whole thing. But McNeese and the search committee will do these extensive interviews this week.
That's pretty quick, though.
Starting on Tuesday. And you figure they're going to get in both candidates this week and probably, I would say, possibly have an announcement by the end of the week.
I mean, has it been 30 days since Terry resigned? I mean, has it been that? I don't think it's been 30 days, Rick.
Well, I guess maybe pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say pushing it.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to get somebody in place to get a staff in.
You do.
But you got to start working them out, and you got to start, recruiting and start formulating. Your point about doing it differently. Again, Barbier out of Alabama, a younger guy, 27, 28 years old, something like that.
Right.
The other guy, the other candidate could very well be a younger guy. So I think McNeese is looking to go younger. Terry Burrows, nothing against experience.
Right.
Terry was 44 years old.
Hey, wait a minute.
Go young. No, but I'm just saying.
Wait now.
I'm not saying, maybe the approach here is to go younger. Maybe that to improve the rapport and relationship and the communication with the younger player. I don't,
and I can understand
something
that,
different
Rick.
to the team.
Yeah.
You got to do something different, Kevin. It hadn't been working.
You do.
It hasn't been working.
But I guess
with status quo. You got to go something.
When you look at it though, and all the baseball talent we have here locally, how big of an effect you think that's going to have on having a guy that's local, that was a local hero in Terry, and having a new guy come in? How do you think we're going to be able to garner some of that local talent that's been here for
whoever
quite
they
some
bring
time,
in
Rick?
is not going to be local. He won't have any local ties per se.
You're right.
So they're shifting, but maybe none of the candidates in the local area had enough resume to warrant getting into the finalists.
You're right.
I say,
it's going to be interesting.
Change is good.
Change is
good. And if you haven't had success with what you're doing, if you continue to do the same thing, you're insane to think, as the old saying goes, that something different is going to happen. So
I agree.
Change. Go a different route.
It's kind of like me trying to explain to you in school week in and week out that I know more about what I'm talking about than you two. Is that pretty much what it is?
Well, but you're insane. You're insane most of the time when you think you know more. I'll give you this. I'll give you this.
You put it out there, Rick, and I just wanted to confirm it.
When you put hands on the knee and going up against that receiver, be it in the college game or program, you got us there. Beyond that, you're coming out of left field most of the time. All right. That's my opinion.
All right,
I could
then.
be
All right,
wrong.
all right,
US Open
all right.
Golf when we come back.
Oh,
Later on in the
man.
show, Mallard Cove head pro Derek Smith
Derek's
is
gonna be
under
with
roof
us.
here at Jack Daniels. We're going to preview the City Golf Championship and what we got store for some of the best amateur players coming up this weekend. But US Open Golf.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Phil Mickelson. The heartbreak continues.
And you know, that was the whole thing of the whole tournament with him, is that can he pull it off? I mean, every commentator you saw talking about golf saying, can he pull? And I know Phil had to see it like, oh, guys, stop it. Just stop talking about that.
Save that. Save that. When we come back, we'll get into that and so much more when we come back right here to Jack Daniels. Don't go far.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford, Douglas Parkway in Sulphur.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
Wow. See what I see? You know I see it. I seen it before you did. You? Come on, man. You know I saw that before you even said anything. Say what? Tell me what you see.
You already know what I'm seeing.
So you see what I'm saying, right?
I saw it. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking right at it.
Right. Get this.
The new bottle? What's there to say?
The new Miller Lite bottle. Find one at a bar near you.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trisa Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatments you deserve. We are Dr. Trisa Guidry.
So what is this fantabulous, fabulous? It's funtabulous. Never heard of it. Is that a word? Yep. And you made this up? Well, you can't make up words. I didn't. Customers did. Really? Mm-hmm. It's a combination of fun, fantastic, and fabulous. It's what our customers tell us they feel like when they leave Tarver Ford. So your customers love you so much, they make up cool words about you? Yep. Come on, man. I'm telling you.
All right, welcome back to the show. You think we can do it without Hobbs? We're doing okay, aren't we? Think we do it? Can we hold down the fort for another half hour for the show?
I know he's watching.
Huh?
I know he's watching.
What, from Omaha? Well, that's true, online. www.soundoff60.com.
We miss you, Scooter. We miss you, man.
We haven't ragged him. It's third segment. I'm going to rag him.
We haven't yet.
What can I say about Hobbs?
What do you think he's doing?
He's
what do you think
Omaha.
he did the first night he got there? I mean, what do you think he did the first night?
Go to the bar. Goes to the bar. He brings a lot. I'm telling you, he's sitting at some bar in Omaha.
Look, yeah.
know.
That's what he's doing. And he,
you know, ask me, I'm gonna tell you.
I've seen Scooter at some of the LSU games where I get a chance to go up to the press box.
Sleeping? Sleeping? No, I'm just kidding. Come on. He's a professional.
You would really be surprised if you saw exactly what Scooter was doing at some of those games. He's a worker now.
Yeah.
Make no mistake about it, but you would be surprised, I think, because you think it's constantly watching and focusing on the game. And Scooter's walking around, visiting, shaking hands. Hey, kid, what are you doing? Okay, who do you here with this week? You know, so it's...
Wait. Mettenberg just threw a touchdown? Doggone it, I missed it. No, we're just kidding.
No, we're just picking with Scooter, man.
Yeah, all right. Coming up later on in the show, next segment, we'll talk about the Lake Charles City Golf Championship with Derek Smith from Mallard Cove. We'll get into that, see how the course is laying out, and who some of the good ones are going to be.
Man. I mean, I played golf with you a number of times, and I got to say, you're above average golf. You're pretty decent, man. You've never thought about maybe getting into the city?
Above average? That's not real, you know.
I mean, average is kind of like, you know, average would be kind of like me, just being able to
say, yeah, Rick, you're pretty good. But I'm not pretty good. I'm okay.
You're decent.
I like that better.
You're decent.
I like that. Better than above average.
The question I wanted to ask is that, why have you never thought about maybe getting into
it's hot. You know, one of these days.
I mean, that's guys that I know.
Really, you know, it's
seriously,
just, it really is.
I've been wanting to ask you that to say,
no,
Rick, why have you done it?
I'm going to do it one day just for fun. I'll be in like the 9th flight.
That's okay, but you're in.
That's all right. That's all right. It's 2 days of golf for the guys who are not in the championship flights.
Yeah.
And, you know, clearing a schedule and back-to-back rounds. You know, will you be my sponsor?
I'll do it.
Will you carry my bag?
I'll do it.
You will not.
I will do it.
You will not carry my
I will do it. And if you ask me to read a putt,
well, now I'll give you that. Now you're reading putts the last couple of times.
I'm
you're
telling you,
very
Rick.
well.
So, no, Rick, that'd be a good team.
Thank you.
I think we would.
I'll let you know when that happens. All right.
Yeah.
The U.S. Open Marion. What a course.
Let me ask you this.
What a course. The grand old lady came up and grabbed the best in the world by the throat and squeezed. And squeezed and kept squeezing. That course stood the test over the weekend.
You've seen people play at the Masters in Augusta, and they say that's a pretty tough course.
Yeah.
What is it about Marion that makes...
No, what about the U.S. Open?
The U.S. Open.
The rough.
The rough. What makes it... Rick, guys were like... I mean, for 2 days of golf, guys were just at even?
Yeah.
Even? I mean, 2 days of golf?
Yeah.
Come on now.
The best in the world. Woods. McIlroy, Simpson,
all of them
were 13,
struggling,
14,
man.
17 over par.
Yeah.
Bubba Watson, I think, finished 20 over par. The rough, you got in this Marion, you got to land it in like in a fairway this wide.
Oh, fairways are narrow. The fairways are narrow.
This rough that goes from here to here, and then you got fescue all over the place.
I mean, in watching it, I was saying to myself, you could see the frustration on Tiger's face because Tiger is a long guy. And if it doesn't do this, you over here.
I think he almost broke his elbow a couple of times trying to get out of the rough.
It's
the
story
a tough course,
of
this thing. Really, the story, besides Phil Mickelson trying to win the first U.S. Open, was Marion.
Yeah.
And the golf course. And some of the weather. But once the weather cleared out, it was an amazing test.
Yeah, it was.
The rough was unbelievable. You know, us hackers locally, we complain when we get out at Mallard Cove or Contraband Bayou when we got this much rough.
I know.
I mean, can you imagine playing in that kind of rough?
Yeah.
But
that's why they call those guys pros.
The real story, and the champion, of course, Justin Rose. You know, look, he grind, and he made some putts, and he won the thing.
I was pulling for
Phil.
Kudos
to him.
I was pulling for Phil.
But the story was Phil Mickelson.
Yeah. And
Kevin, 6 times, 6 different years, finishing number 2, runner-up in the championship. He probably wants more now than even another Masters because he's got 3 Masters.
Yeah.
That's got to eat at you. Eat at you.
And
the way he's lost these things.
Yeah. And like we were talking about earlier, you know, this last one, I mean, if you make a 4-foot putt, you tie it up. And
with 2 holes to play.
That's what's got it.
With 2 holes to play.
That's what's got to be really
and
rough.
those last two, 17 and 18.
I remember, was it 2004 when Tiger beat him? I think it was 2004 when he lost to Tiger.
You got me on your mind.
I think he was in the lead for at least.
He's had the lead before in the U.S. Open.
And Tiger came back and beat him. And that's when I saw the frustration on his face. And that was a couple years back. But for him to come back his six-time
runner-up. Now, look.
That's tough, Rick.
Palmer.
That's tough.
Nicholas, Bobby Jones, Sam Snead. All these guys had anywhere from 4 and 5 second-place finishes.
Yeah.
The U.S. Open is a tough test.
It is.
Phil hasn't won. This was his 23rd U.S. Open, and he hasn't won one. 23rd. 23rd. Mickelson's been around. You know, this is not like, I can't remember the course. This was not like the time, going down 18, and he takes a driver and hits it out of bounds and loses the U.S. Open when he should have played safe.
Yeah.
This is not like that. I mean, Justin Rose did indeed win this tournament.
Right.
Phil Mickelson was unable to catch him and win the tournament.
Because Phil had the lead. And which he could have
had the lead going into the final round.
So Phil would be considered one of those guys that hasn't actually done Grand Slam, if I'm putting it right, Rick.
He has not.
He has not.
He has not won. He hasn't won the British Open. He's won 3 Masters and a PGA. He's got 5 majors.
But
maybe he did win. Maybe he did win the British. I'm not sure, but
that's a tough loss.
But think about this.
I know it's got to be
6 runner-ups. Let's just say he wins 3 of them.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now he's got 8 majors. Now Tiger's got 14, but there's a big difference between 5 and 8, obviously.
No, there is.
But I mean, that's, No,
but you're right though, Rick. That's how quick you close that gap.
Oh, big time.
When you finish 6 times at number 2.
It was tough. But again, the best in the world. Adam Scott, Masters champ. He was another one at 15, 16, 17.
Oh, they were all struggling.
I mean, there was a lot of great golfers out there that couldn't even get to even par, and one over wins the dead thing. Yeah, it was a great tournament, great drama again at the U.S. Open. And what the word was heartbreaking by Mickelson, because at 43, it was his birthday yesterday.
It was.
Of all things, on Father's Day.
Father's Day.
It was all set up for a Mickelson win, going in the lead with the 4th rank.
It was.
He knew that this could very well been his best opportunity, the way he was striking the ball, and he couldn't get it
because
done.
he was, I mean, I watched him, Rick, for a couple times, and I was saying to myself, oh, he's going to win.
He's going to win it.
Yeah.
He's going to win
it. Yeah. Doing all the right things.
Give credit to Justin Rose.
Yeah.
He didn't fold.
No, he didn't.
He didn't fold. He made the shots and put himself on the greens when he had to get par and save par and make some key putts. So, great open. Great open.
It was. I enjoyed watching.
Another disappointment for Phil Mickelson, and it's going to eat at him. It's going to eat at him until next year.
In my book, he's a lefty. He's a great golfer in my book.
Of course.
Great golfer.
It would be. All right.
Great golf.
2.5-minute break. When we come back, we'll talk with Derek Smith from Mallard Cove, talk about another golf championship, the City Golf Championship of Lake Charles, coming up this weekend. We'll do that in about 2.5. Stay right here.
We are worldwide, 365 and 24/7 at soundoff60.com. Sound Off 60 is presented by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at L'Auberge Casino Resort and by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Back after this break.
What started as an ordinary piece of aluminum was about to become something extraordinary.
We have the technology to make it more refreshing than it's ever been. Bluer, colder, wider, venti-er. It's the ultimate delivery system for cold refreshment.
Thanks, scientist.
You're welcome, Beach Guy. The world's most refreshing can, only from Coors Light.
All right, welcome back to Jack Daniels at L'Auberge, getting ready for the 36th annual Iberia Bank Lake Charles City Golf Championship at Mallard Cove. We've got Mallard's head golf professional, Derek Smith, with us to talk about the tournament, the field, the course, the setup, and everything else going on with the 36th championship. You've been here now for what?
10 years.
10 years?
Yeah.
And this thing continues to grow and really pits the best amateur golfers, not only from the city, but I would think from the parish and maybe even the region. Am I correct to say that?
Absolutely correct. I mean, the qualifications to be eligible for this tournament include being a resident of Calcasieu Parish.
Right. Yeah.
So it does encompass all the best amateurs within that boundary.
Yeah, and the defending champ, Robbie Goen, is back to defend the title. Yeah. Give us some other names. And for golfing fanatics out there in this area and in the region, the highly recognizable names, of course.
Well, Matt Nicholas.
Yeah.
He just played in the state amateur. Nathan Allen just played in the state amateur.
Now, he's a guy that I don't know. He won the Sulphur City Championship over the weekend. I've never met him.
I'm not that familiar with him either.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just I've heard the name in the last couple of years, but maybe I would classify maybe as a newcomer.
In my mind, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. New blood, if you will.
But Jason Horn's going to play again. He's won before.
You're assistant pro.
I would put it this way: as far as where the cut line is for the top 32, that hasn't really changed in the 10 years I've been here. The only change I see are names and faces.
Right.
I see some new names and some new faces here. Robbie Going by handicap is about 6th or 7th on the list right now. That means there's 4 or 5 guys that have those plus handicaps higher than what Robbie has.
Right.
I guess, when you look at it, Derek, and you go back at all the years you've been here and everything, what do you see different now? And Rick and I talked about it the other day. For the technology of what golfers have and what's actually at their to have and to get, do you guys set any guidelines on what players can come in with for the equipment and stuff like that? That's something I was wondering about, because you've got clubs out there right now, Derek, you know it. I mean, you can tweak something on it and it can change your whole golf game to where you're hitting less strokes now and stuff. So is that a factor in city championships to where, do anybody look at the equipment, or we take the guy for their word? And
there's obviously not a lot of staff people around when you run a golf tournament like this. Is there anyone checking clubs? No, there's not.
Yeah. It's a gentleman's game.
It is,
Come
Rick.
on,
It is, Rick.
everybody's good.
It is,
We're going to have 14 clubs in the bag. Come on.
The best we can do is use the USGA rules of golf.
Right.
Which dictate that in competition, the equipment and the ball that you use has to be on the list of conforming equipment and conforming golf balls.
Right.
I would say it's going to be up to a playing competitor to notice if someone is violating that rule.
Right.
Bring it to my attention and then let me make a call.
Yeah. Mallard Cove head pro Derek Smith here to talk about the 36th annual Iberia Bank City Golf Championship coming up at Mallard Cove this weekend. The championship flight is a 3-day, it's a 3-round Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the lower flights will be Saturday and Sunday, the one that you want me to get into so I can embarrass myself.
No, not at all.
One of these days when the city championship is played, maybe in like February, when it's
Come on,
72.
It's not that
not
hot,
102.
Rick. Come on.
All right, give us some, in the last couple of years, some of the younger hotshot high school and going into college, do we have any names out there, some younger guys that might make a name for themselves?
I see a bunch of young guys' names on this list right now. Connor Castile, Blake Derwin, Jack Clyde. I think Jack Clyde played at Sulphur. Sutton Farmer.
Yeah.
Sulphur.
That was one little young guy that won it a couple years back. Was it Jacob Lejeune?
Jacob Lejeune.
Yeah.
He won it.
Jacob won it 2 years in a row.
He did.
2 years
he
in
did.
a row. Is
he
he
did.
in the field this year?
I knew you all were going to ask about Jacob, so I came prepared.
Okay.
Did you?
Jacob Lejeune now has PGA status as an apprentice.
Oh, that's right.
So he does not have amateur status now.
Okay.
Oh.
See there?
So he cannot play.
Can't play.
When you get good, you get
You
good.
do. You're right. You're right. You're right.
That's right.
You're right.
All right. So it's a strong field. We got an A+ field.
It
here.
is.
Strong as always.
Okay. Now, everybody over the weekend that loves the game of golf, and we know we got a lot of them out here in our region, saw what Marion and the USGA came up with the U.S. Open. What do you and your guys and the staff at Mallard try to do each year to really, within the realm of it being one of the top municipal courses in the area, to try to really make this a tougher test on these guys?
Well, you could play around with pin positions, which we do a little bit, but we kind of save that for Sunday's round.
Right.
You play around with tee positions, length of tees.
Right.
We like to move them up on Saturday and then shove them all the way back on Sunday. So length of golf course. We tried probably about 5 or 6 years ago to do something with rough and make the rough tall and thick. And, we kind of got caught with our pants down because after that tournament was over, it rained for like 16 days.
Yeah.
We could not mow that rough back down, and that was a horrible summer. It was a miserable summer for the golfers that play
for the
on
regulars,
a regular basis.
Yeah.
So that let me know, that's not a wise choice because we're not like a golf tournament you see on TV. You don't see 8 fairway mowers going down the fairway at one time.
Yeah.
You don't see all those people running around in uniforms. And
you're right,
so,
Derek.
We can let the rough grow maybe just a little bit more than what we would do on a normal basis, but we're gonna get the greens quick.
I'm understanding through. I ran into you a couple of weeks back, and I'm hearing. Haven't been out to Mallard to see it firsthand, but I'm hearing the greens are in great shape. You've got them rolled, and they're fast, and everything is primed and ready.
That is not a rumor.
Good.
Mallard Cove is in great shape right now.
It is.
Yeah, so the greens will be rolling at what?
I can't really tell you that, but double cutting and rolling, I mean, the greens are as healthy as we could ask them to be right now. Double cutting and rolling for 3 or 4 days without any rain, which I think the forecast looks pretty good. You know, I think we could push them to about a 12 by Sunday.
Wow. Cool. How long will the course play for the championship flight?
The longest we can push the golf course back would be about 7,045 yards.
Okay. Good test. That's a good test. All right. So we got the long drive contest. Hole number 1 now. Used to be number 9. Now number 1 Friday at about what time? 5-ish?
We try to start it at 5:30, and usually the last group to come in Friday ends up being 6 o'clock. So we kind of got to wait for those guys and give them a chance to get in. 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there.
I mean, Derek, my range is right now 340. I mean, is that going to be close? 340?
No, you need another 50 yards.
Again.
Wait a minute.
The guy
Rick, you
lives
played with
in
me,
Walt
Rick. Come
Disney
on now,
World.
Rick. You played with me, Rick. Rick, I remember this past week I hit one of them. You're like, good ball, Kevin.
290. I don't think you've ever approached 300. I'm sorry, man. But again, we got to put a tape measure on it. Got to put it. We'll go out to Contraband.
Thought he said 340. I thought he said
340.
Thought he said 340.
Wow. Okay, Derek, we appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Always
a
pleasure,
think?
Derek.
Come on. Who do you like?
I have to go with Robbie to defend.
Yeah.
I just do.
Yeah.
I got to go with Robbie.
Robbie's a pretty strong golfer. He does.
Right?
He's played it a lot. He knows
mini
it.
tour player, you know. He's got the experience.
All right. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Check out the Lake Charles American Press. They'll have coverage of the City Golf Championship over the weekend. Derek, we appreciate you coming in. All right, we'll take a short pause. We're coming right back to Jack Daniels. Stay right here.
Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort, home of Sound Off 60, and Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. Round 5 with the boys coming up.
So Todd, there's Truck Month, then there's Tarver Ford Truck Month. What happens here?
Well, at Tarver Ford, you got 2013 XLT V8, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive crew cab pickup trucks, $12,000 off MSRP. You also have 2012 model Lariat 4-wheel drive diesels, King Ranch diesel at $12,000 off MSRP. And they all come with lifetime oil changes and lifetime state inspection stickers.
Todd, that's a lot of trucks.
Told you. At Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business.
Choosing your doctors and healthcare professionals is an important and personal decision, and one that you should feel totally comfortable with. Hello, I'm Dr. Trista Guidry, and I'd like to welcome you to our clinic, where your health and well-being is our top priority. I'm a board-certified OBGYN and a graduate of LSU. My dedicated staff and I would like to invite you to call for a consultation and appointment. You will experience the trust, comfort, and medical treatments you deserve. We are Dr. Trista Guidry.
If you've got your crew in Miller Lite, you've got Miller time.
Grab me one. It's Miller time!
But what if one of your crew is Ken Jung?
Zoink! What's with the pig? Wait.
No way! Did you teach him that?
Yeah, I did. Sorry I'm late. I came straight from work.
Man, this line's ridiculous. No joke. King!
I'm that guy from that thing! Give me one! Miller Lite. Man, hey, wait!
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Get your free American Press app today. It's all at your fingertips. News, sports, advertising, entertainment, and video delivered through your Apple or Android mobile device. Capture the informative power of the American Press, Southwest Louisiana's premier source for news and advertising. Get your American Press app today. Download it for free through your iTunes or App Store. You'll love the look and feel of our newest digital offering. The app flawlessly delivers the local news most important to you in a new, striking layout. Get your American Press app today.
All right, welcome back to the show. Many thanks to Derek Smith from Mallard Cove. Get ready for great golf at Mallard Cove for the City Golf Championship coming up this weekend.
And compliments to the city, too, for keeping that course in the shape that it's in.
Yeah.
They've done a great job with it.
Great shape indeed. All right, and you know, you're out playing golf this weekend and watching the golf out at Mallard Cove. You may not have time to boil your own shrimp, get the shrimp. Always remember, Big Easy Foods at your favorite retailer has them ready to go.
Always ready.
Fresh, wild-caught Gulf shrimp in the bag, frozen. Counts go on up to from 20 to 30 count, on up to 40, 50, various sizes. Processed in South Louisiana. also packaged in Lake Charles. They're born and bred right here in Lake Charles.
Right
Big
here.
Easy Foods. If you want to check out their full line of products, which are many.
They are
many. Turduckens and all the frozen entrees and things of that nature. Go to BigEasyFoods.com for all the information. Key thing to remember, it's tasty and it's local.
They're all over the state, Rick.
Tasty and it's local. All right. Yeah, they're all over the state.
I mean, I was in Baton Rouge, and a truck pulled up on the side of me. On Airline Highway.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
What'd you do, flag them down?
No, I said, I'll get you back when I get back home.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's welcome Alan Heiser from the
Who's no stranger.
Golf Tournament. No stranger to the show. Want to get an update of how the Cops and Jocks that was played in early May here at Contraband Bayou at LaBerge. Give us some impressive numbers, Alan. I know every year the numbers come in good in regards to the money raised from the tournament and the charities that benefits, but what's the number this year?
Well, the number, I think this year, I know that we're going to break the $100,000 barrier again.
Wow.
And it's, again. Now, I thought the auction was a little weird to sold this year, but we still made the money. We were still sold out. People had a great time, had great weather. We're in the process of figuring out how much we're gonna add to the 2 scholarships this year. We're giving money to McNeese football, the ladies golf, to Toys for Tots, and a few other charities. But the main one's gonna be the scholarships again this year.
Alan, let me ask this. I mean, you've been a lifelong resident of Calcasieu Parish, and you love McNeese Cowboys. What has been the biggest thing that you can see now that you can say there on campus or somewhere in the athletic department that you guys have made probably a huge contribution to say this is what we're doing to further the McNeese athletics?
Impact, I guess. That's another way of looking at it.
You mean what, as far as the Cops and Jocks?
Yes,
Well, what the main thing is what the biggest impact is the last few years you've seen new jerseys, new shoes, whatever. The money that we've given directly to football has purchased those. Because they switched from Riddell or whatever, Riddell, whatever, and they switched to Under Armour. They had to go, they had to buy all new stuff. That money that we gave them, have to buy that. They bought some of the furnishings and stuff within the new field house, and that money is given to Matt Viator to use at his discretion, but he puts it all, and he'll say, look, this is what we bought. Sometimes it's additional equipment. One year he showed me, he said, look, we were, and he said, this is funny, Alan, but we were running short on socks. So when we got your donation, I was able to buy all the socks I needed. So a lot of it isn't something that just jumps out at you, but it's things that's not in his budget, that he can't put in his budget that we're able to do. But the biggest noticeable thing is the new uniforms.
And Alan, when you look at it, I mean, that's great. Look, to have an organization like you guys to do what you do. How big a strain you think it would probably be on the McNeese athletic program if you guys didn't come forth and do what you're doing?
Well, Matt said it would be really hard on them because that's they have their budget, but it's not just us, there's other things they do, but he said that money gets them over the hump. And it gives them a little breathing room to do things. And it's, when it started, we was given all the money, and he wasn't thrilled when we started doing the scholarships, but I'm 58 years old, Don's 112. I don't know.
He's watching too. He's watching too.
I don't know how long we're going to do this. I know we'll do it several more years. But, when Don and I are no longer doing this, we'll still have scholarships. This year, the Cops and Jocks scholarships between what Don has is worth $9,000 to McNeese. That changes some kids' lives.
Yes, it does.
Because there's a lot of kids that don't have the money to go, or because we can give the scholarships. Like if you have a young lady that wants to go and they don't have money to pay for the dorm, we can give them that. Look, here's a scholarship to help pay for whatever. Our scholarship has some flexibility.
That's great, though, Alan.
In our waning minute, Alan, you brought up a good point. A lot of people think Matt Viator and even the staff, but Matt in particular. That's all he does is think up plays and offensive strategy and football coach. He's running a business.
Oh, yeah.
He's running a business.
Definitely it is.
On a budget.
That level, on a budget. With budget cuts. So keep that in mind that these guys, even during the season, they've got to worry about socks and jocks and everything else that goes along. It's a business.
And most people think there's an unlimited, that budget is for a McNeese, which is,
it's unlimited for the LSUs of the world and Alabama. Well, it's unlimited. Tiger Athletic Foundation. Come on.
No, you can take the number of schools that you could say is unlimited. I would say less than 10% of the schools.
You're right.
But they are the LSU's, Alabama, whatever.
Ohio State's of the world,
those things you will never, like for instance, our auction, at Cops and Jocks, raised I think $35,000.
Yeah.
I went to an auction at I think I told you that Mac Brown and Matthew McConaughey's tournament.
Wow.
And also they raised $374,000. $374,000 in the auction.
That's on one night.
One night.
There's the difference.
Yeah, but the difference is
that's on one night.
They had an Aston Martin they auctioned off.
Yeah.
We don't have an Aston Martin out there.
You don't, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah.
All right.
But let me tell you this, and
That's
I'm going to
great,
say
though.
this, and I'm going to say it because you're here, because the reason Don and I are able to do these things because of people like you.
Yeah.
That LeBear's has been here for 8 years.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have been there for all 11 years.
Yeah, I
Back
do
at
believe.
McCall has been there all 11. You know,
Yeah.
Dr. Noble, whatever.
Yeah.
We can't give those money and get a pat on the back if
Right.
the Rick Serrels and
I
Beverly
agree.
Sales
Yeah, I
are
appreciate
not
that.
there.
And,
so
you know,
I need to say that.
It does. You know, it takes you guys organizing, and it does take the businesses and the local support. And you're never short of teams.
No,
and you're never
never.
short of players.
Never.
And we've talked about this before. There are a lot of fundraising charity golf tournaments in our region.
Yeah, there
a
are.
lot, and they seem to be making it. They see. The Cops and Jocks is the apex. It's really the highest one.
I can tell you this, and I won't name it. Recently, I played in a tournament, and I checked in, and a guy there, he didn't know I was behind him, and he checked in, and they had a hamburger, he had a few other little things. He said, "Man, I paid the same amount of money to play in this Cops and Jocks tournament. I got shirts, hats, balls, I had Outback, I had this, whatever, and this is all I get here."
Right.
Yeah.
You know. And you don't realize, but people think about that stuff.
Yeah,
if I've got
they
only
do.
a certain number of tournaments to play in the summer, where am I going to play? The one where I get the most value for my dollar. And people miss that in golf tournaments when they try to put them on. They said, oh, the entry fee is X. I'm not spending any of that to give anything back. But you can't grow it if you don't give something
Keep in
back.
mind it's for
I agree.
charity, though.
Yo, it is
That's
a
the
charity.
bottom line.
That's right.
Charity. You're right. All right, Alan, we
Great
appreciate
cause,
it.
too.
Great
Thank you.
update on the Cops and Jocks. Every year at Contraband Bayou here at LeBear's Casino.
Yes.
When we come back at Stump the Wise Guys, Tim Tebow as
Already.
well, and the
Oh, this is
NBA
another
Finals
episode
down
here.
to 2 games. We'll do that and more. Stay right here.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniels Bar and Grill at LeBear's Casino Resort.
So Philip, you guys have been here for 3 years. I see the blue tags everywhere. How's it going?
Oh, we've made great progress, Judd. We've got people coming from Westlake to Quincy, Hackberry, Vinton, even coming across the bridge in Lake Charles, Moss Bluff, and Iowa. It's not that far, and we really are having a great time serving them and seeing people respond to us.
So Todd, give me an example of what you got going on here.
Well, Joe, we got a $299 a month lease on the F-150 crew cab, and as always, complimentary lifetime oil changes. We've got a great group of people here working real hard to serve our customers.
So come see us at Tarver Ford, exit 21 in Sulphur.
Appreciate it, man. I'm a big fan.
Me too.
This one goes out to a couple friends of mine.
When cold refreshment calls, Coors Light answers. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
All right, before we get into stumping the wise guys, as would be the lovely ladies trying to stump us too, I want to remind you, Wednesdays all summer long, it's Jen Kober's homegrown comedy at Jack Daniels.
She is extremely funny.
Great, you know, big star now in California, Hollywood, Jen
Doing
Kober,
great.
right here from the area. Every Wednesday night at Jack Daniels, homegrown comedy. We got to get her on the show.
I'm telling you,
in the next 2 weeks.
thing I remember about her,
we got to get her on the show.
A couple years back, Rick, I went and saw her and stuff, and I happened to be close to the front row. She said, "Yeah, Mr. Guidry, you really think
she
you're
ragged you, huh?
Don't be on the front row."
Oh, I'm definitely not on the front row.
Don't be on the front row.
And you know, look.
Did she embarrass you?
Yes, she did.
You know, I'm serious. We got to get her on, and nothing against the beautiful ladies of
Yeah.
LeBear's, but let her do the sports trivia too.
Oh, I would love it.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I would love it. Oh, I would love it.
All right, here we go. Who's first up?
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Tim Tebow is the latest in a long list of much talked about University of Florida quarterbacks. Time to test your knowledge. What Florida quarterback recently led the Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl?
Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman?
Yeah.
Right.
Florida quarterbacks, big name in Florida.
Yeah.
Not so big in the NFL.
No,
you
not
know,
at all.
they get real,
Not at all.
Heisman Trophy
You're right.
winners, and they get to the NFL.
You're right.
That whole thing. All right.
You're right.
We got that one.
I
Chandler.
got the next one. Okay. What Florida quarterback won the Heisman Trophy, and went on to play for the New Orleans Saints?
Come on, Guidry. You played against Florida. Not this guy.
No, not this guy. The name's right here. Danny Wofford.
There you go.
Chet? That's correct.
Hello.
All right, question number 3. Name the Florida quarterback who also won a Heisman and later went on to coach the Gators to a national championship.
Oh, Spurrier.
Steve Spurrier. Yeah.
Hey! Hey!
All right, last one.
All right.
What former Florida quarterback is best known for his appearance on the TV reality show The Bachelor?
What? Wait a minute.
Come on, y'all know y'all's wives watch The Bachelor.
Wait.
He works on ESPN now.
Yes, he does.
Jesse something. Help me out.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of.
He played for the Giants.
Yes, he did.
Jesse Palmer.
Yes,
Jesse Palmer.
Great job. Great job.
We cannot
Great
be
job.
stumped when it comes to Florida.
wasn't even here tonight.
We don't need Hobbs.
We don't need Hobbs.
Thank you,
Good.
ladies.
Y'all have a good
Appreciate it.
night.
Thanks,
Great
Chandler.
job.
The lovely
As
ladies of
always,
the Bears.
Thanks a lot.
Failed once again.
They did a great
Did
job,
not
though.
stump us.
Yeah.
All right. We got a little theme going here. Florida quarterback. Look, after the show last week, Tim Tebow signs with the New England Patriots. Number 3 behind you know who, and Ryan Mallett, the former Arkansas quarterback. Your quick thoughts on that?
Come on, Rick. You put me on the spot.
How anti-Tebow are you? No, look. Scale of 1 to 10. How anti-Tebow are you?
I'm done.
I hope not.
I think he's a great guy.
He's a great guy.
But let me say this.
A great competitor.
For so many years, 2 years, 3 years. How many times has he been in the NFL? How many years? 2 years?
Let's go.
Rick,
This might be his 4th season.
He's been out of place, Rick. They have played him out of place. He was a great collegiate quarterback. This is not college anymore, Rick.
All right.
It's not his position, Rick. Put him at an H-back. Put him at a hybrid. Do something else with the kid. He's not a pro quarterback. Do you see it different?
There's still hope.
Rick,
There's still some hope.
Come on, Rick.
There really is. Look, Tim Tebow will never be a starter unless forced into the. He won't start at New England.
Let me.
But maybe again. Can you imagine being around Tom Brady and his ability and his mind and then Bill Belichick? This guy can be a sponge, and really maybe grow into the position.
I agree. But Rick, what do we go back to when we talk about quarterbacks? One of the main things that you hear,
in my opinion, accuracy.
Plus, the word I'm looking for is mechanics.
Okay.
You got
Not
to have
the
those
greatest
mechanics.
mechanics.
And look, this is what was the telltale sign. You had one of the greatest quarterbacks that I played with up in Denver, John Elway.
Yes.
John said it. John said it on national television. Tim Tebow is a great athlete, but he's not quarterback material. John Elway said that.
All right.
That's it, Rick. It's over. He said it's over.
He's also returning to Josh McDaniel, who used to be the head coach at Denver, that failed experiment. Guess who drafted him? Josh McDaniel. He's the offensive coordinator again with the Patriots. There may be some hope that Tim Tebow can find a spot and a niche in the NFL with the New England
Rick,
Patriots.
Sometimes you have to. I mean, look at a guy, Trenton Holiday. Everybody thought the kid couldn't make it.
Good point.
He's in. You've got to find your place, Rick.
I'm tired of the Tebow bashing.
I am, Rick.
I don't think Tebow brought any of this onto himself.
No, he didn't.
He lives a Christian lifestyle, and it's out front and center.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's out front and center.
And Rick, the thing that I think that's probably been somewhat of a detriment to him is that when he left college, Rick, people had so much of high expectations for him going to the pro level to where.
Well, why? Because he was drafted when? In the first round.
Rick, yeah.
You got to have high expectations. He's a quarterback drafted in the first round.
That's kind of what I think was really his.
It's unfair.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been drafted in the first round, but he was.
Shouldn't have been.
And he shouldn't have gone to the New York Jets, but he did.
Shouldn't have been.
So,
He did. But
look, I might be wrong, but there might be a chance. I do too. There might be an opportunity. All right. In our waning seconds,
he's doing all the right things.
Texas A&M quarterback Johnny Manziel making headlines with tweets.
Look, Johnny
the
was walking
quote
on
was, I can't wait to get out of College Station.
Johnny's been everywhere. And what do you take that to be? I don't know.
Stop tweeting.
Yeah.
Stop hitting the bars.
Yeah.
Focus on playing quarterback for A&M. That's all I got to say with Johnny Manziel.
And the tweet
Great
was,
talent, though.
The tweet was, can't wait to get out of here. You know what that means.
Whatever that means. Rub against the clock. Hobbs will be back next week. NBA Finals. We got 2 more games.
Go
LSU,
Go
College
Heat.
World Series. They got to win 4
keep your head
to
up.
get back into it. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a great sports week.
Sound Off 60 is presented by Tarver Ford in Sulphur. Give us a chance to earn your business. And by Jack Daniel's Bar and Grill at LaBerge Casino Resort. Sound Off 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 60 Monday through Sunday nights, 9 p.m. and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Sound Off 60 also airs throughout the week on Communicom Cable Channel 6 at 9 p.m. across Southwest Louisiana. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the boys and access our website links at soundoff60.com.